Okay, let's talk about a somewhat controversial subject that shouldn't be, hibernating your Russian tortoise. Let me start by saying you do not have to hibernate your Russian tortoise. If it isn't in excellent health, you shouldn't even want to. If it is in excellent health, you should, as it's a natural process they all go through in the wild and their genetics are designed for it. Every wild-caught Russian tortoise starts to wind down the fall and does some period of restricted activity or bury themselves as best they can and sleep. Now for the 10 to 15% of you who will hibernate your tortoise, this and the next lesson will go over all the aspects you need to do and have in place to get them ready and through it successfully. First up is preparing for hibernation. The first step in preparing them for hibernation, they do all on their own. You'll just need to complete their effort to ensure they're completely ready for their sleep. If you have a permanent pen outside, the natural reduction in light during the day as North America gets into September will start their natural slowdown processes. You just need to make sure to stop feeding them anything 3 weeks prior to them going into the refrigerator to ensure their GI tract is completely empty of food. Make sure they're well hydrated and drinking water 2 to 3 times per week. Soak them 2 times a week if you need to, just to make sure they're hydrated. And once they start coming out of their burrow hiding place for say 2 or 3 days straight, they're ready for the fridge. Now I've found using a small college dorm room refrigerator the best option for their hibernarium. You can completely control the temperature, see them when you open the door every other day to change the air in the fridge, and they last for years. Ours is 14 years old as I do this lesson, and it's worked like a charm every single year and has many more to go. And yesterday at Costco, we saw basically the same one for $150, so they're not exceedingly expensive. Now, a week before your tortoise goes into the fridge, plug it in and set it so the internal temperature is between 40 and 45 degrees. That's pretty much the perfect range. And this may take 2 or 3 days to get set. Next, get a plastic shoebox you can see through that fits on a shelf in the fridge and fill it say 3 inches deep with dirt and then cover the dirt with some dried leaves or plastic plants. And then put it in the fridge and let the fridge again stabilize at 40 to 45 degrees. Now it's ready. If the outdoor weather isn't working out too well, too much rain, too cold, etc., or it's just easier for you to slow them down while they're in their indoor pen, here's what you need to do. You'll need to drop the amount of light in their pen from say the 12 to 14 hours you're doing right now, 7 days a week, to 6 to 7 hours a day over a 3-week period. So 1 week, 12 hours. The next week, 10 hours. The next week, 7 to 8 hours. That will slow them down. Stop feeding them anything for this 3-week period, as we did in step 1. And then third, make sure that they drink water or soak them 2 to 3 times a week for 10 to 15 minutes each time to make sure that they're well hydrated. Okay, let's summarize what we learned in this lesson. You should hibernate your Russian tortoise, but only if it's healthy. It's not mandatory. They'll do okay if not hibernated. Use a small dorm room fridge as the hibernarium. Reduce their daylight time from 12 to 14 to 7 to 8 hours over a 3-week period. Stop feeding them anything for the 3-week period, and make sure they drink water or you soak them 2 to 3 times a week for 10 to 15 minutes each time. Thanks for watching this video on these truly unique tortoises. Now, if you're interested in learning more about these wonderful animals, or want to become an expert on Russian tortoises, you can, because I've created a complete care and husbandry video course that includes all aspects of their diet, indoor and outdoor pens, breeding them, their health, and hibernation. It's over an hour's worth of information distilled from my 16 plus years working with Russians, and I think you'll really enjoy it and find the information valuable. Check it out at the link below, and thanks again for your interest in these unique tortoises.